Hello, my name is Steve Wen. I'm here to present my solution for the 2025 GaoKao. I'm 21 years old, currently unemployed, and most likely not going to get a job anytime soon. But we're here to look at my solution. Most of you probably can't solve this question. It's for the 2025 Chinese University Entry Exam for mathematics. It's the last question. So supposedly it's the hardest question. So just before I start, I just want to shout out to Shanghai, Wendy Asset Management. They are a great company. I work there. I'm currently using their paper. They're fucking goated. And let's dive into it. So suppose player A and B are playing this game, and whatever game it is, the winner gets 1 point, the loser gets none. And then we want to set player A's winning probability as P and player B winning probability as Q. And provided that P is greater than 1/2, and we know that P plus Q equals 1. And then we just want to set PK and QK as the probability after kth game player A or B have 2 points, at least 2 points ahead of their opposition, and K must be greater or equal to 2. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Most of you can understand. And let's look at question 1. Question 1 is pretty simple. It's basically just get P3 and P4, right? So what's the probability of player A winning 3 games straight, and probability of player A winning 4 games straight, like continuously. And we have question 2, which is suppose that P4 minus P3 divided by Q4 minus Q3 equal 4, and we want to get P. Probably most of you can get this. This is very easy. So let's just do first question real quick. So P3 is very simple, right? We just times P3 would just be P3 should be just P cubed, and then P4 would just be actually we have P4 as probability of A winning 3 games and B winning 1 game plus A winning 4 games and B winning 0 games. Okay, and then we'll just get, it's actually very simple. We just get combination of 3 over 4, and then P4 P3 times 1 minus P, which is just Q, and then plus C 4 out of 4, which is just 1, times P3. Pretty simple. Sorry, P4 to the power of 4, which is very simple. We would just get 4P3 times 1 minus P plus P to the power of 4. Okay, so that's question 1. Very simple. And then question 2, since we already got this. This is not working. Since we already got this from question 1, question 2 should be very simple. So we'll just have Q3 equals to Q cubed, and then we'll just have Q4 equal to the same thing, which is 4 times Q cubed, 1 minus Q times Q to the power of 4. So very simple. And then we just make that equation equal to 4. And I'm just not gonna show working here because it's way too simple. You just substitute in, and then eventually we'll get 4. Eventually we'll get 4 equal to p over 1 minus p squared. And that's our solution. Hence, p equals to 2 over 3. All right, so we know the probability of p winning, which is 2 over 3. Okay, welcome back. We will own something. We had to get a new pen. So yeah, we got the result for question 2, which is p 2 over 3. And that is a trap. Ironically, it is a trap. Well, you can do question 3 without this. Actually, you don't need this solution. So I'm just gonna wipe all these since we don't need this already. And I'm guessing you guys already remember what the question is, so I'm just gonna wipe that out. So yeah, we're just gonna leave with our conclusion, which is Q, which is P equals to 2 over 3, which makes Q 1 over 3. So yeah, just wipe this. All right, we good. I'm just gonna write it here. P equals to 2 over 3. You guys can use this to get part 3 done, but I wouldn't. Let me just write down question 3. So for question 3, this is the hardest question. We need to prove that mathematically. We need to prove that. Well, p 2n plus 1. Remember, pk and qk is the probability of either player, A or B, having 2 points ahead after kth amount of game. But k has to be greater than 2. So yeah, we have to prove that p 2n plus 1 minus q 2n plus 1 is less than p 2n minus q 2n, and which is less than 2n plus 2 minus q 2n plus 2. All right, to prove that, it gets kind of hard. You can put it into ChatGPT. You can give ChatGPT this answer, p equals to 2 over 3, and it will be able to prove it. But your solution will be very, very messy. It will be like an abomination of a bunch of combinations and numbers. Well, we don't really want that. We don't actually want to substitute this in. This question looks like a probability and statistic question, but the underlying, the good thing about it is you don't have to use probability. Well, you can use some other things to transform into more like a algebra question, which gets a little bit hard. So yeah, I'm just gonna show my solution. If you use ChatGPT, you're not gonna get the solution. But the solution is, I don't know. I don't think ChatGPT will be able to get the solution. So yeah, let's start the proof for question 3. I'm just gonna leave that there. So the proof for question 3, first we need to set xn as points after n games. So just how many points they've gotten. So that we can get p to m. So I'm just using m instead of n as a dummy variable. We will substitute n back in later on. We'll just get p to m equal to p probability of x to m greater than m plus 1. And then for that, we will just m minus p to m plus 1. For that solution, for that equation, we will just get p x to m plus 1 greater or equal to m plus 2. So I'm just using m as a placeholder mostly, but you can substitute in and then you will get the same results. And then for that, we will just get px to m greater or equal to m plus 2 plus px to m plus equal to m plus 1, provided that y to m plus 1 equal to 1. And then from that we can get from that we can get p to m plus 2 equal probability of x to m plus 2. So 2m, 2 times m plus 2 greater or equal to m plus 2. And then for that, we can get probability of x to m greater or equal to m plus 2 plus probability of x to m equal to m plus 1, provided that y equal to y of 2m plus 1 plus y 2m plus 2 greater or equal to 1, plus the probability of x to m equals to m, provided that y to m plus 1 equal to y to m plus 2 equals to 1. So that we just kind of deriving the components that we need later on, and then we get to the heart of this question. We're going to substitute something in. So essentially we're just proving, let's set dk equal to pk minus qk. So to prove, so the working before is just, I'm just getting the equations ready for the next proof. So yeah, to prove that p to m plus 1 minus q to m plus 1 lesser than p to m minus q to n less than p to m plus 2 minus q to m plus 2. We only kind of have to prove that we need to prove that d to m plus 1 minus d to m equal to p to m plus 1 minus q to m plus 1 minus p to m minus q to m is less than 0. And we have to prove that 2m plus 2 minus d to m equal to p to m plus 2 minus q to m plus 2. So it's the same thing, but you just plus one more. So yeah, we just have to prove that this is greater than 0. And that is how we're going to prove it. So notice how we didn't actually use p equal to 2/3. We don't have to. We just kind of have to convert it into some other values or variables or whatever, and then give out the relationship between them, and then we just have to prove that instead of actually using the number or using combination. Actually, if you use combination, it will become very, very messy. You will get a bunch of numbers, and then you have 2 over 3, and then you have 1 minus 2 over 3, and you have a bunch of numbers, and it will get really messy. That's not what this question is about. That's not what this question is about. A lot of you might just start diving into it. This is the difference between high school mathematics and university level of mathematics. If you were in high school, and if you are doing this question, probably you will go down that route, but that route is proven to be very messy, and mathematics, even though probability is not very elegant, but mathematics should be very elegant, should be very sophisticated. The equation should be very beautiful. You shouldn't really involve, unless you absolutely have to, the actual number into your equation or into your proof. So to prove that, we have a lot of work to do. So yeah, to prove that, hope you guys have this in mind. To prove that, we will first have, let's first solve for this. We have to solve for this, and then we just kind of substitute these in, and then we give out the equation. But this time we're using the dk. Okay, so we will have p to m plus 1 minus p to m equal to probability of x to m greater or equal to m plus 2, and then we will have plus probability of x to m equal to m plus 1. So notice how we just kind of using, even though it's all x to m, but we just want to see the probability of them in different outcomes. So have to consider all the possible outcomes where y to m plus 1 equal to 1, and then minus, we just want to minus p x to m greater or equal to m plus 1, and equal, so that we will just get minus p x to m equal to m plus 1. I'm just rearranging. You don't have to go down this path, but I just want to show you the full work. And most of you, if you study mathematics, and once you get the idea, you can go down this route by yourself. But I just want to show the full working for people that just come to mathematics, which is a lot of you. Deepak is already passing out. Yeah, this is way too much. So yeah, we will get minus probability of x to m equal to m plus 1, given that y to m plus 1 is 0. And then, so that we will just get minus combination of m plus 1 and 2m. We'll just have p m plus 1, and then we will have q just m. Well, we actually have q plus q to the power of n minus 1, but then we have another q, so we will actually get this, but if you cancel them out, that will just leave you with qm. So yeah, this is our first part of our solution. Very elegant. We don't actually need to come up with a bunch of combinations and stuff. And then, so that's the proof to the first equation, to the 2m plus 1. Now we just have to do the same for the 2m plus 2, which is simple. So yeah, let's wipe all of these. We'll give you some time to read this, but I'm just gonna copy the results to here, which is p to m plus 1 minus 2p to m equal to minus combination of m plus 1 to m p m plus 1 q. Okay, so that's the solution. We'll just keep it here, and then I'm just gonna wipe all these because I need to prove for the second solution. Okay. Also, I just want to quickly mention one of the proof. I think I lost most of you, but I'm just gonna say the proof anyway. The y to m plus 1 has to be in the range of 0 or 1, because we have that p to m, x to m equal to m plus 1, which contradicts with p x to m equal m plus 1, provided that y to m plus 1 equal 1. They do not coexist. You can't have these two. That's why y to m plus 1 has to be in the range of 0 or 1. 0 to 1. So I just want to quickly put that in there for you math nerds. Also, by the way, if you're actually using the p equal to 2 over 3 and you actually did the whole thing by hand, you are a nerd. You don't know what the fuck you're doing, and you shouldn't study mathematics. All right. So for the second part of our solution, we're just solving for this equation. So we will have p to m plus 2 minus 2p to m, which is given by probability of x to m greater or equal to m plus 2, m plus p to m equal to m plus 1, and given by y to m plus 1 plus y to m plus 2 greater or equal to 1. That's not our solution. Plus probability of x to m equals to m, provided that for the case of y to m plus 1 plus y to m plus 2 equal to 1. So we just have to consider all the possible outcomes, and that's it. But this is way more elegant than whatever solution you are coming up with. So yeah, and in the end we just minus the x to m greater or equal to m plus 1, and that's it. And then that equation will just give us, I'm just gonna write it here, that equation will just give us, I want to save you some time, so I'm just gonna skip to the last part where this equation is all rearranged, and we will get this form of probability of x to m plus 1, given that y to m plus 1 equal y to m plus 2 equals 0, plus the probability of x to m equal m, y to m plus 1 equal to y to m plus 2 equal 1. So yeah, we're just rearranging kind of, and then finally we will just get this solution here minus combination of 2m plus 1 to m p to the power of m plus 1 and q to the power of m minus 1 and q squared, plus probability of combination of m 2m and p to the power of m, q to the power of m, and then we would just have p to the power of p squared. And so now we have the solution for these two. right? And because Q and P and Q, they are Q plus P, P plus Q equal 1, so which is the same case for Q. Essentially, you're just substituting numbers for Q, substituting P for Q, and you will get the solution. So hence, let's get our final solution. So we have this form right here, and we have this result here, and finally we can probably move on to our last part. I just want to come back here, wipe all this. Okay, so hence d to m plus 1 minus d to m equal to combination of minus combination plus 1 to m. Just want to make sure this is correct. M plus 1 to m p to the square to the power of m plus 1 qm, and minus the combination of m plus 1 m to m times the p to the power of m q to the power of m plus 1. So that's our d to m plus 1 minus d to m, which is the thing that we're trying to prove. If you still remember, we just prove this less than 0, and then this greater than 0, and then we will have our proof, because they're equivalent. Equivalently, they're the same. Just using some algebra to make it more elegant. All right, so, and then for the second part, we just have d to m plus 2 minus d to m, which will give us c combination m plus 1 to m, p to the power of m plus 1, q to the power of m plus 1, plus the combination of m to m, p to the power of m plus 2, and q m minus combination of m plus 1 to m, p m plus 1, q m plus 1, plus combination of m to m, p to the power of m plus 2, q to the power of m plus 2. And that was our solution. And we can prove that. We can prove that this is less than 0 and this is greater than 0. And that is our solution for the 2025 GaoKao. Very elegant. Only 2 terms for the first one and 4 terms for the second one, and you can get the solve instead of substituting this in. Well, I guess you kind of have to, but this equation, this relationship will just simply show us that, show us the proof. So yeah, that is all the proof I have. If you have any questions, you can ask me. But I'm probably not gonna answer because I guess most of you couldn't understand this, but yeah. So yeah, again, shout out to Shanghai Wonder Asset Management, and I'm still very unemployed. don't see anytime soon I can actually apply any of these knowledge. This is all fucking bullshit. So yeah, we'll see you later, and yeah, fuck you guys.